Guys, welcome back to my channel. I have got 8 brilliant canter exercises today that you can do in your training session to really improve your horse's way of going in the canter work. Now, we've got the legend that is Mr. Corporal out today, and bless him, I haven't schooled him in ages, and he was an absolute superstar, so obviously the less schooling I do with him, the better. So first up, looking at the counter canter, which is something I've done a lot with him over the years, especially in my dressage to music tests. Always add in some fancy counter work. So there's not much that counter doesn't help your horse with. It's great for developing their rhythm, their strength, their balance, great for engagement. That's something I really found it helped with Coop. It just got him to take that little bit more weight behind. I could collect him up in the canter. If you've got a horse that tends to be a little bit wonky in the canter, maybe they throw their hindquarters out, you'll find that counter helps straighten them up that little bit more. Like I say, great for getting them to take that little bit more weight behind. So if you're starting to introduce your horse to flying changes, again, counter is definitely something you want to be working on. Canter loops, something you tend to see in novice level dressage tests. So a great way to work on your horse's suppleness and balance through the loops. So you're looking for the rhythm not to change. They're also a nice way to introduce young horses to canter. So if you're wanting to teach your horses their few steps of canter, this is a great way to start them off. I might have thrown in a few sneaky flying changes as well. Find flying changes work quite well off of the loops because they stop you from over shortening your horse up, and you've got such a balanced control canter that they're kind of asking for a great flying change. So 10-meter loops or 5-meter loops are brilliant to do. Moving on to 10-meter circle, medium canter, 10-meter circle. Now this is all about control. You've got to have control over your horse to be able to do this exercise, and it's a kind of a nod towards elementary level tests. So starting off with the 10-meter circle at the top, making sure your horse is soft around your inside leg before opening them up for a few strides of medium canter, and then bringing them back to another 10-meter circle. Now my arena is a little bit small for this exercise, so literally I manage about 2 strides of medium canter before I've got to recollect, but a great exercise to help engage your horse's hindquarters, really get them listening to your aids. So when you ask for that medium canter, that they open up their stride before shortening back up again to do the 10-meter circle in probably a collected canter is best. But yeah, it really does work the hind end. So now we're on to canter, trot, canter. So you tend to see this exercise in elementary level tests, and it is a brilliant one again for getting your horse to use their hindquarters, become a little bit more engaged, take a little bit more weight behind. Now, everyone knows lots of transitions are a great training tool. And with this exercise, I do find horses can get a little pickled at times with it. So they start preempting that they're meant to go to trot or they're meant to go to canter, and Corporal did exactly that. But you'll see how much crisper the transitions got throughout that. Now moving on to rein back and then transition into canter. One for maybe the slightly more advanced horse. You want good, clean, even strides in the rein back, making sure that your horse stays straight before moving into the canter. This exercise is really good at making your horse sit and take weight behind. Also great for improving that canter transition and just strengthening them up altogether. You need short, even strides back in the rein back to make sure that that canter strike off is really crisp. You can see Corporal tends to have not the greatest rein back. He's a little bit lazy, but we'll let him off. He's a superstar. Another little walk break for him. Like I said, it was really quite warm, so plenty of breathers for him. Next, we're moving into the back and forth in the canter on a circle. So a little bit like the 10-meter circle, medium canter, 10-meter circle exercise. Here on a 20-meter circle, just working on bringing him into a short canter, back into a medium canter, back into a short canter, back into a medium canter. So opening the frame up before shortening and collecting. Again, great for improving your horse's balance and rhythm, helping them with the self-carriage, but also just again, all about working on those hindquarters, getting them stronger over their backs, taking more weight behind, and as a rider, making sure your horse is crisp off your aids. Simple changes tend to come in around elementary level, and you can do them through trot or walk. In my case, I'm doing them through walk. Now, Simple changes, you need a lot of control and your horse needs to be taking that weight behind. If your horse is sitting, then you'll find it's much easier to do that clean, crisp transition into walk before asking for the canter again. And it is a great exercise, like I say, for working on your horse's engagement and their balance and their overall rhythm. Again, just giving Coop a nice little breather here before just checking what exercises I need to remember. Now, the canter spiral with transitions. Now, I'm not going to lie, this is actually a fairly new exercise to me. And oh my goodness, why did I not know about it sooner? It's such a brilliant exercise. And the quality of the canter I felt from Corporal afterwards was second to none. Honestly, he felt amazing. This one is a massive tick for suppleness. Honestly, the softness around my inside leg that I felt from him, it does make you use your outside leg, which is brilliant. So starting from the outside, I'm going to spiral in. So using my outside leg, I'm bringing his quarters in and sort of like a little nod to nearly having a little bit of baby steps of half pass. I'm going to leg yield him back in to more of like a 10-meter circle, and once I'm onto that smaller circle, I'm just going to do a transition back to trot before asking it to the canter again. Now this exercise makes your horse engage that hind end. They have to take the weight behind and sit, and you can see here Corporal's making a lovely shape over his back. So again, I start on the outside and I bring him back in, or you could start on the 10-meter circle and leg yield out. You can do it both ways. So brilliant for their self carriage, great for working on your horse's collection, lovely to better. I felt like I could really sit in his canter and just like nearly take a deep breath and let him wait. And bless him, he worked so hard, but I honestly found it was one of the best canter exercises I've done. Great for simple changes, that control that you need for them. Brilliant to improve your horse's balance. Great for building their overall strength. And I just pick it up and do the same on the other rein. But you can just see the way he looks in the canter here, the control, and it was just such a really, really good exercise. It's one of those, it's like, why have I not done this before? Here you can see really having to use my seat to help bring him back into that 10-meter circle. A couple of times I could just feel him about to break. So having to, I mean, great for the simple changes there. You can see how easy it was to ask him to pop back up into, down into walk. Again, really having to use my outside leg. Now I'm leg yielding back out. So again, watching, he doesn't just drift and run. I want him to take his time as he leg yields out and in with this exercise. So every time you go out or in, you do a transition. And yeah, really, really good exercise. So give that one a whirl if nothing else. And thank you for watching.